The ink bleeds across her fingers. Marie Curie holds the newspaper in both hands. November 4th, 1911, Paris. The headline screams her name, and beside it, another name, a married man's name. The word adulteress appears 7 times on the front page. She won the Nobel Prize 3 days ago, her second one, the only person in history to win 2. Chemistry, physics, 2 different fields. But that's not the story France wants to tell. The story France wants is scandal, betrayal, a widow who should have stayed quiet, a foreign woman who went too far. She reads the headline again. Her hands shake. Outside her window, a mob is gathering. This is Rabbit Hole, Episode 2, Marie Curie's Secret, the affair that shocked the world. Marie Curie is 44 years old. She's lived in Paris for 18 years. She speaks perfect French. She has 2 daughters. She's a professor at the Sorbonne, the first woman ever to hold that position. Her husband, Pierre, died 5 years ago. A wagon crushed his skull in the rain on a Paris street. She found out at home. Someone knocked on her door and told her. After that, she didn't speak for weeks. But she kept working. She isolated radium. She proved atoms could break apart. She invented the word radioactivity. She carried test tubes of glowing green liquid in her pockets. She worked 16-hour days in a freezing shed with a dirt floor. The scientific community called her a genius. France called her a treasure. And then she fell in love. His name was Paul Langevin. He was a physicist, brilliant, married, 5 children. His wife, Jean, hated him, screamed at him, hit him, he claimed. He left her and rented an apartment near the Sorbonne. Marie met him there, secretly, for months. They wrote letters, hundreds of them, love letters. Mon cher petit homme, she called him. My dear little man. Jean Langevin found the letters. She sold them to the newspapers. The story breaks on November 4th. Le Journal runs it on the front page. Madame Curie and Monsieur Langevin, a romance. Within hours, every paper in Paris picks it up. They call her a home wrecker, a husband stealer, a foreign seductress corrupting French family life. They remind readers she was born in Poland, not France. They print her private letters. They describe what she did in that apartment. The mob outside her house grows larger. They throw rocks through her windows. They chant. They demand she leave the country. Her daughters are inside, 10 years old and 14. They crouch beneath the windows and cover their ears. Marie doesn't leave the house. The Swedish Academy sends a letter. The Nobel Prize ceremony is in 6 weeks. Maybe, they suggest, she shouldn't come. Maybe it would be better if she stayed home. The scandal, they say, the optics. Albert Einstein writes to her. His letter is 1 sentence long. If the rabble continues to occupy itself with you, then simply don't read that hogwash, but rather leave it to the reptile for whom it has been fabricated. She reads it. She burns Paul's letters in the fireplace. She books tickets to Stockholm. But the question remains, will she actually go? December 10th, 1911. Marie Curie walks onto the stage in Stockholm wearing a black dress. The King of Sweden hands her the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. She gives a 40-minute lecture on radium and polonium. Never once does she mention the scandal. Never once does she apologize. When she returns to Paris, she collapses. Kidney infection, depression, fever. She spends a year in hiding, moving between friends' homes under a false name. She doesn't teach, she doesn't publish, she barely speaks. But in 1914, war begins. Marie builds mobile X-ray units, petite Curies they're called, and drives them to the front lines herself. She teaches soldiers' wives how to operate the machines. She saves thousands of lives. By the time she dies in 1934, the scandal is a footnote. Her discoveries define modern physics. Her name is legend. But here's what stayed with her. Paul Langevin went back to his wife. Marie never spoke to him again. And in all her letters, all her interviews, all her published writings after 1911, she never once mentioned his name. Some betrayals, it seems, don't earn words. Before you go, let's talk about 2 words from today's episode. The first word is scandal. I used it when I said, maybe she shouldn't come. The scandal, they say. Scandal means a situation that shocks people and damages someone's reputation, usually involving immoral or illegal behavior. Say it with me. Scandal. The second word is mob. I used it when I said, outside her window, a mob is gathering. A mob is an angry crowd of people, often violent or out of control. Say it with me. Mob. Next time on Rabbit Hole, a London theater, 1964, opening night. The most famous movie star in the world steps onto the stage. She's never acted in a play before. She can barely remember her lines. The audience boos. Critics call it the worst performance they've ever seen. Her co-star walks off mid-scene. And somehow, this disaster launches the most legendary comeback in Hollywood history. I'm your host. New episodes every Wednesday and Saturday. Watch out for rabbit holes.